This is Dr. Branch. You have started your study of the Old Testament, realizing that it is a book that still speaks to some of the deepest questions that mankind has posed from a particular point of view. Now, there has long been the idea that any person at any time can pick up the Bible and understand it. And to an extent, that is true. When you deal with biblical people, you're still dealing with people. And men have always dealt with the same basic question. What is good? What is evil? Is there a God? What does this God expect? What am I to do? And the Bible proposes many answers to this, although whether the answer has totally been consistent over the ages, whether God has changed his mind or not, is up for debate. Now, one of the things that we will tell you right from the beginning is that although we hold many things in common with our Old Testament figures, there are many things that are different. The culture of the day, the ways of thinking, have changed. And if we don't take this culture into consideration, then we will fundamentally misunderstand the message of the Old Testament. What seems to us to be pretty common sense and commonplace may not have been that commonplace or the same understanding that these ancient figures had. For example, when we look at the world, we tend to think in terms of a modern viewpoint as this planet Earth revolving around the sun in the midst of millions of other stars in the universe. The ancient world viewed this quite differently. They thought of a three-storied universe, the heavens above, the earth in the middle, and that which was underneath the earth. In the heavens above there was water, and God above that, with a dome beneath the waters and above the waters to keep the waters in their right places, but with a window so that God could allow more water to come down when he chose to. Underneath the dome, at the top of the earth, of course, are the clouds and the sun and the moon. A very different viewpoint, the modern viewpoint. There was the earth and everything on it. Underneath the earth, there were waters in the deep. If you read the story of Noah, God not only makes it rain from above, but he releases the waters from underneath the earth. And there was also the shadowy region called Sheol, S-H-E-O-L, which we would say was the ancient equivalent of the idea of hell, which is an older idea. But Sheol probably is more like the Greek idea of Hades, the place of the dead. And as such, it may not be either good or bad, but it is just shadowy and unknowable. Not a place to be desired, which is why you don't got to leave you there. So, when we look at the Old Testament from an academic point of view, we factor in that it is primarily a religious book and contains religious ideas, but we're not expecting you to believe any one particular idea. We just want to present the material and present different viewpoints of the material in such a way that you can choose for yourself which one you think is correct, or decide for yourself whether any of it really matters or not. Well, therefore, we use some of the findings of social sciences, historians, archaeologists, and other academic disciplines to investigate what the Bible is saying. So we study the culture and viewpoints, the literature and so forth from those viewpoints. Now, I guess this is another way of saying that if you expect an academic study of the Bible to be Sunday school, you're going to be disappointed, because it's not. It's going to a lot of material which you may disagree with if you're a person who already has a faith perspective. And then again, depending upon uh, the nature of your church, you may find a lot that you do agree with, that you have already incorporated into your belief system. Regardless, one of the reasons why I'm going to say that if you have questions, please feel free to address them to me via email, and hopefully if the system works out that we'll address them sometime in the future. At any rate, I hope that you'll read this with an open mind and to see the different viewpoints and ask the questions, well, the traditional W's. What? Could this have taken place this way? If I don't believe that, why not? Hopefully it'll be fun. But anyway, it is what it is. And hopefully you'll all do well in this. All right. I'll see you again next week. Have fun this week. It's an interesting chapter.